This is Steph reporting to you for Dates and Cakes. Today's episode is going to be about babysitting, and I don't mean for cash on the side. So, yesterday, I went to a bar where this girl was obliterated by herself. Outside this bar that had a $20 cover because they had a really great jazz band inside, but if you stayed outside with the smokers, then you could hear it for free. So that's what we chose to do. So I started talking to her, and I was like, oh, so like, what are you doing here? Blah, blah. She's from Indianapolis. She's a carpenter. I was like, that's pretty cool. You don't meet many people that can say that. And she was like, I don't know, I was hanging out with some of my friends, and like I could tell one of them was going to get really wasted, like they always do. And I decided I wasn't going to be the babysitter today. And I was like, let's go. I need to do that. So I figured a good dessert for not being the babysitter, to like kind of harness the sweetness of your own life and not being that person that always has to take care of the drunk friend. Even when you're drunk, I figured fudge would be an option. So I already melted these because I didn't want y'all to have to wait on me, because that would be the worst. So you put your chocolate chips. I prefer dark. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. And then sorry, Tupac. I feel like it was poor rendition. And then some butterscotch. I get the cheap brand because it tastes the same. The chocolate does not, but the butterscotch does. Same ingredients. So yeah, so you melt those on half power, and that's what we're doing right now. And then it's all stirred up. And then you add sweetened condensed milk, because life is not sweet enough with just those two. You have to pour pure sugar syrup in it. And then also have a dog on hand as your companion, because everyone knows dog is a person's best friend. So this girl had some great points of just, doing her own thing. Also, props to her. She was very natural, I guess is the way to put it, because she had her hand up like this with her cigarette. Very natural. Teach their own. So I've had several instances where I am babysitter, a couple with friends, and then a couple with dates. So the friends situations would be always that I would be drinking, having a good time. They'd be drinking, and they would get so wasted that they couldn't hold themselves up. So then it would kind of harsh my drunk a little bit. So obviously you take care of them at that point. And then that's kind of the rest of your night. Dates, however, there have been two. There was one that I guess I didn't really technically take care of him, but it was going to get to that point because he was so sloshed. Okay, so I've actually got three. Just thought of another one. So one of them was actually in New Orleans, and that was our first date, was in New Orleans. We met in Pensacola. We didn't even meet in real life in Pensacola. Like, he literally showed up at my house, and I had a backpack, and I got in the car. So, I know, judgment's a little questionable on that one. But I'm still here, and I have a vlog. So, then you add nuts, because aren't we all a little? So we go, to Frenchman Street by my recommendation, because he'd never been to New Orleans, and I was like, look, Bourbon's not where it's at. And he's like, yeah, like, I don't want to go to Bourbon, blah, blah. So we go to Frenchman, and it was a blast. We learned a lot about each other's, like, family, and, like, I mean, we had a lot to talk about since, we, had each other for a one-night trip, because it's only 3 hours from Pensacola to New Orleans, so. Remember, the number one rule that Martha Stewart always forgets to tell you is you have to try your product to make sure it's good. Oh, yeah. So, and then you put it in the pan, put it in the fridge. Easy. It's easy not to be a babysitter. So he's, like, wasted, and so slurring and everything. I'm surprised they let us into bars, but it's New Orleans, so they'll let you in and leave with 2 cups. So we take a pedicab back to the hotel, and he almost falls out of the pedicab. He was pretty wasted. And I'd been drinking all night too, and I had to harsh mine to help him. And then he kind of got like emotional. I was like, all right. And like, it's awesome when dudes get emotional, but like, that's how drunk he was. That it was like a drunk emotional. Another one, I mean, that was it. Like, he told me on the way home that he's like, well, I'm never going to talk to you again. And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, this motherfucker's not kidding. So, that was fun. But hey, I got a trip to New Orleans about it. So, he paid for the room. Like, I tried to pay for my half, and he was like, no. And I was like, I'm not going to argue with you. We're staying in the freaking Marriott, so cool. But yeah, so another one was this guy that was super, like, probably one of the hottest guys I've ever dated. I think I've talked about him before. But he was so gone that he was the same level as my blonde best friend, actually, at the time. And they were both wasted. So I was taking care of 2 people that night. That was fun. You know, and then put her in her bed, put him in mine, you know. But he was too drunk to do anything, so that harshed my mellow. And then the other one, this one was in Charleston. This dude was so drunk that he was trying to break up a fight that happened in a pizza stand. Pizza, with a big pizza, I don't know what it's called, but a big wooden pizza thing. Oh my gosh, he like comes out with it, like swinging, and I'm like, why is someone not recording this right now? It was great. It was great. Never saw him again, but definitely it was another, you know, another one where I was a babysitter. So, moral of the story is, make fudge instead of being the babysitter all the time, you know? Just life's a little nuts and take control. Always know where your exit sign is. I found this on the floor yesterday in Uptown. No one said anything. Also, I put it under my jacket, so there's that. Toodaloo!